convenience store keto items. We're talking about trying to eat clean while getting some groceries at, in this case, a 7-Eleven, okay? But we can do any kind of convenience store. Full disclaimer, the stuff is not gonna be super clean. It's gonna be stuff that is just typically at a 7-Eleven or a convenience store that just so happens to be keto. Maybe some almonds, maybe some cheese sticks, things like that. We'll probably end up getting kicked out because it's just gonna look weird when we're in there with a camera, even though we're kind of discreet. But if that's the case, we'll grab what we can, we'll take it back to the studio and I'll explain it there. Okay, so it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna go in, we're gonna break it down, we're gonna see what the heck they got, because this is a real deal thing. You're at a gas station, anything like that, you never know what you're gonna find that will actually work. You're not gonna get full-blown meals. And by the way, it's always good to be prepared. So after this video, go ahead and check out Fat Snacks. Okay, these guys have nailed the keto cookie in a super portable, friendly way. So it's a way that just doesn't have a bunch of ingredients you can't pronounce. So keto cookies that are super, super awesome. So check them out down in the description after we hit the convenience store and after you watch this video. All right, let's hit it. So convenience stores, it's gonna go one of two ways. They'll either accept us with open arms or they'll kick us out really quick. But let's see what they got. Okay. Perfect. Little baskets. All right, let's start down here. Okay. Well, you know what? Heck yeah, this is actually kind of cool. Surprisingly, they've got some interesting things. These Baby Bell cheeses are perfect. Good little snacks. Almost all the stuff we're gonna talk about today is gonna be snacks, right? You're not gonna get good, wholesome meals. You're not gonna be able to get like a wide spectrum variety of nutrients. These things are really cool. Mozzarella and prosciutto. I'm gonna go with prosciutto. Prosciutto is actually pretty clean out of all the cured meats. Yeah, look at mozzarella cheese, cultured pasteurized milk, enzymes, prosciutto ham, pork, and sea salt. That's like super clean. So I'm gonna get a couple of those. Those are awesome. I don't have a particular budget. This is more, well, this is cool. We saw these in our Target thing, very similar thing. Okay, so if you're on keto, you actually need electrolytes, right? So because what happens is your kidneys end up expelling extra water because your insulin levels are low. So this is perfect. Okay, what's in this? Fresh cucumbers, vinegar, salt, calcium chloride, sodium is okay, preservatives galore, but still kind of cool. I'm gonna grab those. That's awesome. You need to eat some bacon, Lunchables, no-go, obvious no-go stuff. These cheese items would work if you wanted to get some of those. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it because I got the prosciutto thingies. So we're good there. Okay, anything frozen? Definitely not there. Okay, ice, that's keto. Oh, sweet, okay. Interesting stuff. Just so you guys know, the difference between the crackling curls and like regular pork, so these have a little bit more of the fat in them. So you're definitely gonna get more fat with like the crackling curls than you would with like the regular pork rinds. Not a whole lot of options here. Let's see what we got. Original fried pork skins and salt. And then this is fried out pork fat with attached skin and salt. So if you need more caloric density, these guys actually won't bloat you as much. It's just a little bit more fat. So I'm gonna get one of each just to prove a point. Not a whole lot in the way of this. Let's see. Okay, here's what's wild. This is interesting. Fried out pork fat with attached skin and salt. Clean ingredients. As soon as you get into the spicy ones, fried out pork fat with attached skin, salt, and monosodium glutamate. MSG is not like terrible for your overall health, but what it does is it lights up your brain, so it makes something taste good that ordinarily wouldn't taste good. So basically it tells your brain that it tastes good when it doesn't really taste good. So clearly they're adding some not so good stuff in there. Always look for MSG, not because it's bad for you, but because it's an indicator that there's other bad things for you. It's a warning sign. Okay. None of this stuff's gonna work. In here. We're getting eyed like we might get kicked out, but that's all right. Okay, so these things, when you get down to the protein bars, this is where you can run into a problem. Okay, the Quest bars say they're keto friendly. They are so full of sugar alcohols, you will be on a quest to the toilet, okay? That is where they got the name. So even though they might look like they're keto friendly because of the fiber and the sugar alcohols, no, trust me. Well, and even if they were, it would defeat the purpose of doing keto because you just don't feel that great. I don't have anything against Quest, to be honest. Like, I think they're doing good things, but like that, come on. Okay, Tiger's milk, definitely no good. When I was growing up, I ate a lot of those though. Robert Irvine's Fit Crunch, just out of curiosity, what's in these things? You got 27 grams of carbs, 6 grams of sugar, a bunch of sugar alcohols. See, they try to make them low carb, but there's just so many sugar alcohols. Why? Okay, like you're better off to just get nothing, none of these. These are not good to go. Oops.
Okay, cool.
These Lenny and Larry bars are deceiving. I mean, they're just still wheat flour. They're just a cookie with some protein in them. Yeah, the protein bars are tough. Trail mixes, no go. So the Quest bar is the same kind of thing. They try to say, hey, it's a Quest cookie, 20 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fiber. But look at the ingredients in this. We got protein blend, milk protein isolate, whey protein isolate, butter, which really isn't all that bad. Then erythritol, palm oil, cocoa, unsweetened chocolate, calcium caseinate, water, natural flavors, cocoa butter, and then a bunch of other preservatives and stuff like that. Basically, it's a bunch of whey protein, like byproducts, consolidated into a cake. Would it work on keto? Would it kick you out? Probably not, but like, again, why? I just think there's better options. Let's see here. Okay, this is the better stuff. So quick almonds 101. Okay, when you have roasted almonds, you're gonna end up having canola oil. Okay, canola oil is just gonna end up in them, right? So you're gonna have doesn't even say on this one. Okay, I can tell you from experience, these have canola oil on them. So the best bet is to go for the whole natural ones. If you get any of the ones with flavoring, smokehouse, sriracha, anything like that, they end up having a bunch of maltodextrin and a bunch of sugar on them too, which adds up when you have one of these. Okay, that's why if you have this, one whole package, that's gonna be 8 grams of carbs. That adds up versus the whole natural is gonna be, well, still 8, but sugar, let's see, 2 grams. Well, that's interesting. I might have to eat my words on that one, but I do know that this stuff, oh, here we go. Yeah, see, I'm not wrong. Almonds, vegetable oil, canola, sugar, salt. So let's go clean. Let's get a couple of the whole natural almonds. And let's see what else we got here. Okay, none of this stuff's good to go. It's all gonna have starches, carbs, everything like that. Jerky sticks. Okay. Low quality jerky for the most part. Again, I'm not trying to be critical here. We're at a convenience store. Beef, water, salt, brown sugar, MSG. Okay. Again, an indicator that there's some not other good things in there. Okay, this has gluten in it. In case you haven't seen my video surrounding what happens with gluten, especially on keto, triggers an autoimmune response. Okay, it triggers zonulin to be released, a protein in your body, which causes an immune response in the blood, which just so happens to also attack the thyroid. So that slows down the thyroid activity, which therefore slows down your metabolism. So I'm not seeing any ones that I can have here, to be completely honest. So I think I might just have to omit the jerky here today. These are good to go if you wanted to, again, but just gonna have the salt, right? If you wanted to have some sunflower seeds, that's totally keto. I just highly recommend not having things that you're gonna munch on all the time, because as soon as you munch on something, you're spiking insulin. So you have these, you're gonna be munching on them for hours, and you might think you're doing yourself a favor, but you're constantly spiking your insulin a little bit at a time. So although they're keto friendly, they might just mess you up. Okay. That's all candy, so I don't think that's happening. Wow, not a whole lot of things here. Well, this is kind of disappointing. Let me see, they have sardines. Oh,
There you go.
for the win. Okay, item of the day, sardines. All right, so when you are in doubt, this is going to be the best omega-3 profile that you could possibly get at a convenience store. You can always find these at a convenience store. That is what's cool. So I am in business now. All I gotta do is get a little plastic fork or something, and I've got my omega-3s in. So if you don't like sardines, you're out of luck, okay? Because I can't make you like sardines. There's nothing you can do to these things to make you like them if you don't like them. But high amounts of docosahexaenoic acid, which means that you're getting a bunch of brain fats. The only downside to this is these are in soybean oil, which is a problem. But at the same time, if you give them a bath, just rinse them off in some water, just take a water bottle, rinse them off, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna get those. I'm gonna take a look and make sure I didn't miss anything here. Larissa's Kitchen. What is this? This Larissa's Kitchen. Oh wait, actually, 100% grass-fed beef, beef, water, a little bit of sugar. It's kind of par for the course. Hey, it's actually pretty clean. I'm gonna get, so Larissa's Kitchen. All right, that's cool. Hopefully you'll see that at a 7-Eleven. Oh, and see, I'm glad I took another look. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, wild Alaskan salmon jerky, but it's a sweet flavor, which means that this whole thing has 8 grams of carbs. Also, get a salmon, sugar, salt, gluten-free soy sauce. Big kudos there. See, some people figure it out. Okay, you want to have the gluten-free stuff. Yeah, that's not gonna work. And then we've got, I guess I could see if I can get a hot dog. So we've got, for the most part, the hot dogs probably would be keto friendly. Probably have some things in there that you don't want, but it's okay. I mean, if you're just in a pinch, just get a hot dog with no bun and it'll be okay. Oh, technically, this is technically keto friendly. I mean, it's not the best stuff, right? You've got turkey, almonds, and Colby Jack. That turkey is probably barely turkey, so maybe we just avoid that. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at what they've got in the drinks really quick. Not beer. No, that's not gonna work. Okay. Not a fan of Bang. Yes. I'm actually filming a helpful video on healthy things to get it.
Huh?
I'm filming a video for.
You're supposed to be ask me before you can do
Oh,
any
I'm sorry.
video inside the store.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
It's,
Please
it's,
put back over there everything.
well, I'll buy it right now. I'm gonna buy it. I mean,
Yeah, you can buy or you can make any video inside the store. You ask me before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whoever working on the sales associate, you ask me before.
sure,
Okay.
sure. Just
Yeah.
so you know, it's
No,
all.
excuse me. No video more inside the store.
Yeah, no,
Thanks.
done,
Thank
done.
you. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay.
Why I am working here? Why I am working here? If you are doing anything inside the store, you ask me.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. No more video inside the store.
Sure. Well, let's see if we made it.
Thank you. Thanks.
Perrier. We got a Perrier. Cool.
Next day.
Yes.
Anything else?
Actually, let's get a. Can I just get a regular quarter-pound hot dog, but with no bun? Just.
Sure, why not?
Cool. Thanks.
You want quarter pound?
I'm sorry.
One hot dog?
Just one hot dog, yeah.
You want bag?
Yes, please.
Anything else?
Nope. That's
1914.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
You have a nice day.
You
Thanks
too.
a lot. I appreciate it.
for sure. He became really friendly again. I don't know.
Friendly.
Yeah. He was very, very just professional, which is probably his store, so I get it. You know, and again, it's one of those things where people don't realize. Oops, the keys. People don't realize that we're there to do positive things. Okay, they're probably used to hooligans coming in and just making annoying videos and making a russ and all this stuff. The reality is we're doing a positive thing, and it's hard to explain that to somebody. So you come in, and we have a really discreet little camera that we use for these kind of things so that we're not invasive or anything like that. But you know, we did get kicked out, but I totally anticipated getting kicked out, so it's not the end of the world. The thing is, we actually made it through about 90% of the shopping trip, so the only thing that was left was the drink aisle, and I ended up grabbing a hot dog without a bun. So I'll just recap it really quick when we get back to the studio, just break it down really quick. But all in all, it's a success, less than 20 bucks. 20 bucks, and I got some stuff that would last me like at least a day, like if I was on the road or something like that. Well, it wouldn't feel amazing, probably wouldn't have the best results, but at least I'm getting clean keto options, and it's a little bit fun. You can learn like what is actually decent at a 7-Eleven or a grocery store that's just a simple convenience store. So let's head back to the studio, let's break it down and see what we got and close up shop. When you're in a convenience store for however long it was, I think we're still rolling, like what, 20 minutes.
Oh, dude.
It makes it pretty obvious you're doing something, right? Yeah, we're 19 bucks at 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven, right? All right, so when you're keto, maybe it's not quite oh thank heaven, it might be a little bit more like this'll do, but I was still able to get the job done before I got kicked out. just going to quickly recap, just because I was kind of muttering at the store. These things were a pretty cool find. You usually find these in specialty grocery stores, so pretty awesome there. I went for the prosciutto over the pepperoni one, just because the pepperoni one has a little bit more in the way of the preservatives. Prosciutto is usually pretty clean, so these are awesome. This would be a perfect thing just to have as a little snack or meal replacement. Went back for a second look and found these, Larissa's Kitchen. Don't know much about them. I've never heard of this company before, but this was awesome. They look pretty similar to Chomps, a few more ingredients than what you would find like a Chomp stick. I usually would prefer Chomps, so if you do like go to a Trader Joe's or something, get a Chomp stick instead. But still not bad. A lot of salt. Again, not a big deal because we're on keto, we can deal with salt, but just a lot. These were a cool find. It seems like kind of a weird thing, right? Like, why would I just buy some pickles? But the reality is, like I mentioned when I was in the store, when you're in keto, what happens is your insulin levels are low, and that causes your kidneys to expel extra water. Basically, it has a feedback loop system that's going on that's causing like aldosterone to elevate a little bit because of stress and things like that, and insulin's down. So then what happens is you excrete water, which means you excrete your minerals. So this is like a perfect snack. So most people would look at it, they'd say, oh my gosh, there's like 1,000 milligrams of sodium in this whole thing. Do I want to eat this? Maybe you don't want to eat the whole thing all at once, but it's a great way to get a low-calorie electrolyte snack in. Almonds. Okay, so I didn't go with the roasted ones because they're roasted in canola oil. I went with straight up raw whole almonds. Quick hot tip, don't snack on these over the course of a half an hour or an hour. Eat them in one sitting, okay? Here's why. If you munch on these, every time you eat something, you're causing a little insulin spike. So people think they're just snacking and grazing by just having a couple at a time. You're better off to just eat these in a couple minutes and then be off to the races so you can have that time in between your meals to actually burn fat. Eating, burning fat. You eat, then you burn fat in between your meals. So don't be grazing all the time. Then I got a hot dog, and I have to admit, I don't know what's in this. I'm gonna guess that there's probably some preservatives, there's probably some starches, there might even be some gluten. So if someone out there knows exactly what's in a 7-Eleven hot dog, let me know down in the comment sections below. I put it in here because I felt like it was reasonable to include simply within the budget that I had and everything like that. The sardines. So whenever possible, when you're getting sardines, you should try to get them in water because you don't want the fat from the extra oils and things like that to overshadow the good positive fats that are in sardines, okay? This is in soybean oil, which is the cheapest, lowest quality oil, which explains why it was probably at a convenience store. So you're gonna wanna give this one a bath, okay? Sardines and soybean oil, the only ingredients. Get a good amount of vitamin D, a good amount of DHA, omega-3s out of that. Just clean it up. Then I got fried pork rinds. Okay, so we got 80 times 4, so we got 320 calories in this. Nice, good, solid meal. Like you were to have this along with a little bit of protein or these, maybe this together, you wouldn't feel good, but you'd have sufficient lunch material, right? Like this could be a lunch, and then you just don't snack on anything until dinner or you get to your destination. The cracklins, these are a little bit higher calorie, okay? So these are gonna be, say there are 4 in there? Yeah. These are a little bit higher calorie for weight, but this is a little bit more in the way of the actual pork fat with the skin. So you get more of the actual fat in this case. So we've got, let's see, it's a different size here. So technically this has a little bit more fat. Technically this has a little bit more saturated fat. Why? Because this is fried skin. This is fried skin along with the fat, which may or may not be saturated. It could be polyunsaturated too, just because you're not just frying the skin. Okay, so that's the fatty acid profile explanation there. And then lastly, I just grabbed the Perrier. This was right when I got kicked out. If you consume something sweet, a lot of times you just crave more sweet things. And it's okay, like I have stevia, monk fruit and stuff like that in my drinks all the time. But when you're cruising down the road, if you just have something that is not sweet, you'll find that you don't crave a bunch of sweet things and you're less likely to roll into the convenience store or the gas station and get more of these and more of these things that you just munch on that aren't really nutritious and they're not nutrient dense, they're just filler material. So anyhow, 20 bucks, got kicked out, got a story, and you got a little bit of insight in science. I'll see you in the next video. Does anyone want the hot dog?